spring hath sprung, at least partially, here at Popcorn and Root Beer, and of course IBT in general, because IBT is not just in one place. We're spread across the country, baby. And I am joined by, well, my Midwestern crew this time. Sometimes we kind of keep it more Northeast. Sometimes we move a little Midwest. I am, of course, repping Boston, but I am joined by two people who need no introduction, but it is my job to do so. Jake Parry, my beast from the Middle East, Mid-West,
Middle East.
Middle West. How you doing?
Oh, I'm living the dream here. It's golf season. Baseball's starting up. I'm ripping Pokemon cards like it's my job at this point. I'm vibing.
Now you're like outside Chicago, right?
Yeah, about an hour outside.
So are you a White Sox or Cubs fan?
Cubs fan, because I have respect for myself.
That's fair. That's fair.
Nah, Sox fans are cool. I'm not. I honestly think I think inner city rivalries are so stupid. And maybe that's like my hottest take of all. Like, I think the Cubs Sox rivalry is dumb. I think Jets Giants rivalry, dumb. Mets Yankees, dumb. I think it's stupid.
Fair enough.
We're not in the same. They're never in the same division. They're in opposite conferences half the time anyway. There's literally no logical reason for us to argue with each other.
That's so fair. Joining me as well, and joining Jake and I, because Jake's also a regular on this, is someone who also has multiple choices for a baseball team fandom. Seth Woolcock, you're out there in good old PA. Are you a Phillies fan, or do you bite the bullet and suffer as a Pittsburgh Pirates fan?
Yes, sir. I'm loyal to the soil out here in the western side of the state, which, is really the beginning of the Midwest, too. We've had this debate before, but East Coast, I think, ends at about Harrisburg, and then everything else from the western side of the state is in the Midwest. So, yeah, I am here suffering through the beginning of the spring. Had a great Saturday, Sunday last week. Got out on the golf course a little bit, and then now we're kind of back under taking shelter this week. But hey, no better time to watch some movies and also bet on them than the time when we're kind of forced to watch them right now with nothing else going on in the world.
Yeah, you prepping for the IBT Classic?
Hey, I'm ready. I am
Can't
getting
come and
ready.
rest at your own classic again.
Hey, I was third. We were on the leaderboard, baby.
Yeah, we did good. It was great. Speaking of things that are good, and speaking of just being togetherness in general, let's go from background extra to part of the main cast by joining the IBT Entertainment family. The IBT Entertainment family is free to join. You will get access to our analysis and memorabilia giveaways for no cost. But if you're feeling frisky and you want to get access to our full betting cards, betting models, and all contests, you can upgrade for $3.99 a month or $36 for the year. That gives you access to all other IBT families as well. That includes the IBT football family, the IBT racing family, and the IBT golf family. There's a lot of families here. One could say they are modern families. You can also get in kind of late, but potentially join the Survivor 50 tourney for free. That was a free giveaway. Look at that. We're just giving stuff away here on Popcorn and Root Beer, and I love it so much. You're looking at the faces of like three of the families, right? Seth, you run the football. I obviously am here on the entertainment, and Jake is our resident golf expert with an 8 handicap, if I remember correctly.
6.
He's got it better since the last time we talked about it.
No, I haven't been an 8 for years. I'm actually doing worse than I usually am right now. Normally, I'm like a 2 or a 3. I'm sitting at like a 6 right now. But I also didn't record a ton of scores last year. But since we're talking about scores and we're talking about golf, it should be hilariously noted that I am far higher up on the leaderboard in the Survivor contest than I am in the PGA One and Done contest, where my own brother is beating me. My pick this week withdrew after 1 hole.
Yeah.
And my brother's pick for the week is currently leading the tournament.
That's not even fair. That's not fair. Like that's pretty brutal. That your guy just like dropped out. Can they do that? That's lame.
Yep. He took a practice swing on the 2nd hole and immediately withdrew. His back locked up.
Brutal. Seth, how are you doing in the Survivor pool?
Hey, we're ripping, man. We're ripping. I didn't see the results from Wednesday's episode yet, but definitely didn't get that pick right. Had the right tribe, had the right alliance going, 2 tribal council, and I just thought they would take out the weaker player, then end up taking out my boy Q, so that one hurt a little bit. But we're still ripping out there, top 3 going into the episode, so we'll see where things shake out, man. But what a great time. I've said it, let's continue to hammer on Aubrey Bracco not to win right now, sitting 5-1 odds right now on Kalshi. So I continue to sprinkle on that this week. I think I have maybe 4 units played on that right now.
That was the host and you coming out because you transitioned me right into our next segment. Let's talk Kalshi and let's get to some bets, shall we? Hit that music.
Under the neon lights where the shadows dance, we ride the rhythm, take a chance. Blades of sound slicing through the night. Kalshi cuts, bringing fire to the fight. Kalshi cuts, sharp and clean, carving paths in a midnight dream. Feel the beat, let the echoes rise in the heart of the city.
I just realized after watching this intro that Tombstone is the first movie that we kind of get a glimpse of. Well done on that. That is
Guilty.
That's always nice to see. All right, you guys want to talk some upcoming spring movies? You're feeling the love in the air, right? Like the sun is out. That seasonal depression, you can feel it melting away a bit, which is just so nice. And it gives you reminders of what can still be, and we'll talk about reminders of him. Hopefully, you listeners do not have any of that. Reminders of him currently sits over under 55% on Kalshi for a Rotten Tomato score. Here is the synopsis for you. After prison, a woman attempts to reconnect with her young daughter but faces resistance from everyone except a bar owner with ties to her child. As they grow closer, she must confront her past mistakes to build a hopeful future. Yeah.
It's a movie.
It's something.
It is one of the movies of this year.
Yeah. That's kind of what it feels like. Let's talk about who's in it for a second, because we got Micah Monroe, but we have Tyreek Withers.
Yep.
Breaking away from he had him last year. Bold swing, big swing, right?
Bad swing. Terrible swing.
I think
Not
when he
fault.
I'm assuming when he got the script, it was better, right? And then it's like attached to Jordan Peele in some way. You assume it's going to go well.
Right.
This one feels like this is very early for his career to go in this direction, I feel like, where he's going to the kind of gross adaptation of bad book movie.
Well, and he's sticking with himself getting typecast as a football player, as a former college football player, because he plays a former NFL player in this movie. So he's just getting typecast. They're like, oh, football player or former football player, call up Tariq.
Yeah, no, for real. That is absolutely true. So it's sitting at 55% right now. That's the line. I'll start with the betting model that we have. The prediction has it sitting at 57. So right now it's calling a no bet on this because it's sitting right on the line. Seth, are you feeling more optimistic for reminders of him?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, I think this is one of those movies that right now kind of getting unfair treatment by, I think, critics and yourselves as gamblers as well, right? I mean, not only do you have Withers and Monroe in this movie, but like, hey, can we talk about Rudy Pankow? I know he's not going to, he's playing the, past love, right? Who we're assuming passed away. But I mean, he's had a really rise to stardom here. And you also got Lainey Wilson, who's going to be making her theatrical debut in this as well, playing Amy. Yep. So I think that's giving it a little bit of star power. And honestly, it looks like a pretty good movie looking at the preview. So obviously it's going to take a hit like in the IP score, right? Like that was the big thing, I think, in the model that drug it down. Cause like, hey, it is kind of just another, not even a rom-com, but just a rom, right? And might not move the needle that way. But for me, like, I think this is honestly, it has to be one that we're betting on. I'm going to go on the over. It's probably not going to be a full unit play for me, but it probably will be at least a half, maybe a 3/4 unit play for me. The line currently, as you mentioned, sitting there at 55. And we already do have some early screeners who have reviewed this, and they have right now the Rotten Tomatoes score at 59. So we're going to see more of this come out as it releases on March 13th, which is today. So more will come over the weekend, but I would highly suggest getting invested with it right now. I think it's going to be a good little flick here, boys. And I'll say this, like my fiance, not much of a movie goer, movie connoisseur, if you would. She's already bought her ticket for next week down here at the local theater. So
really,
yeah. So it's really striking a chord here with these. You gotta keep in mind, Steve, you're very much living in a little bit of a bubble up there, like. For the suburbans, for the rural gals out here, I think this is one that's going to get to them to the theaters. Kind of gives us shades of Dear John back in the day a little bit.
I didn't like that either. That's the thing. Like, these are not good. I just don't think this is a good. Like, I don't think it's a good movie. Like, and so, all right, I'm going under. There.
I'm also under.
I'm firmly under.
Is this a lean under, or is this actual plays on under?
Like, I have 4 units on the under.
Holy cow,
wow.
Jake.
Well, it's sitting right now at 59%. And historically, movies go down. After like the initial reviews come in, it usually will drop.
And if you look at the actual reviews, it started off higher than this. There was a stretch of a lot of positive reviews with a couple negatives in there. And then over the last like 10, 12 reviews, it's like, I think 10 of the last 12 are negative on it. And some of them as low as a 1 out of 4. So we're seeing like very low reviews, and just with the way it's trending, the under is still under 55. It was trading at 39 cents. So 39% chance essentially is how it works on Kalshi of that occurring. And at this rate, I think we're going to continue to see that trend towards 50% per share. And I do think it's going to come in under this type of movie. Unless it comes out of the gate at 80, 90% on the review score, it tends to trend down, and it tends to be one that the critics don't like as much as the fans do.
I agree.
Yeah, I could see it. I will say, like, if you're going to be betting that over, like I just put in the play for half a unit, you're not going to be getting much back, right? Like the over is kind of juiced at this point. So the money making perspective is with you guys on betting that under. You're getting nearly 2-to-1 odds when you place that. So not bad from a money making perspective. I think this is a movie that if you are betting that over, like this isn't one that's really gonna be building your bankroll necessarily. I think that window might have closed early on in the opening lines.
This is for sure one of my riskier plays too. Like as we go through this, this in fact is my riskiest play, kind of my long shot of the week, if you want to call it that. A lot of the movies I lean closer to the line. This one I don't trust romance movies right now. They just don't perform well.
Okay.
Yeah, and especially movies like this that release and you get like a few reviews. They're usually people that like the studio knows is going to be pretty generous. So they get the early screening, get some good word out there, and try to recoup some money.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Not feeling too hot. One movie that I think I am feeling pretty hot about, Ready or Not to, Here I Come. Comes out on March 20th. Right now, the line is at 75% Rotten Tomatoes. Here's the synopsis for you. After surviving one deadly game, Grace and her sister Faith must now outrun 4 rival families competing for a powerful throne. Winner takes all. This stars Samara Weaving, Catherine Newton, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Elijah Wood, amongst many, many, many others, because it is an ensemble cast, if there was ever an ensemble cast. Right now, with the line at 75, the model has its prediction at 75, which means it is a no bet, according to the model, because it is sitting on that line. Now, the first movie did pretty well. I think this movie, if I had to bet, which I do, and I can't utilize the model here because it's on the line, give me the over, but like squeaking by. Like I'm talking like a 78.
Yeah, I went adjusted line here. I did take above, but I flexed the line down to 70 on the tomato meter. It cost about 14 cents per share on Kalshi to move that line, and that just didn't feel like too drastic of a loss to take what I feel is a much comfier line. As you said, the first movie did well, and I think what's going to help this movie potentially keep on that trend of doing well is the fact that it's basically like that movie ended and Ready or Not ended, and this is picking up almost immediately after. So it's not like we're dealing with a time jump or anything like that. And Ready or Not was awesome. I think this one's going to be good as well. I just felt comfier making the line a little bit easier for me when I'm not taking a massive profit hit to do so.
I also want to point out, like, the one thing that does give me pause is Catherine Newton. Not a huge fan. Our model really, I think, showed love to the marketing, IP, and cast a lot. Um, the director score, not great. Actor score also falls below that line. So there is certainly risk here, where Samara Weaving has kind of hers tend to be like really big gaps in what she does. Like sometimes she just hits a home run, and other times she'll like kind of just like strike out
Mhm.
looking. Um, but Seth, how do you feel? Ready or not to? Yeah, are you like in, you out, or are you kind of just like, no, I'm not gonna?
It's a no bet for me, boys. Just like I think some of that like preamble, Jake, that you're talking that we're missing, like she basically from the trailer is looking like she wakes up in that hospital bed, and then from there on, she's kind of almost back in the game. Threatens to leave. Doesn't want to play the game. Hey, we got your sister here. You're in. I
Mhm.
think that preamble actually takes some of the fun out of that movie, right? Because while I didn't see the first writer or not, it seemed like the setup of her marrying the man of her dreams, going to the family's like luxurious estate that really kind of opens things up a little bit. And then things get dark and they get dark quickly. I think with it just being dark from the beginning, I just don't know if that helps bring enough character development. Specifically for this new cast of characters that we have coming in, which seem to be from different families. I'm sure we'll get some building throughout. I just think part of that might fall flat, and this is nothing more than a little bit of comedy with some gore and some action shots. So for me, like it's a no for me, dog. But I'm not going to bet this one either way, Steve.
I like that Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it. I think that's always
Yeah. Oh
exciting
yeah,
when a
for
horror
sure.
movie
Yeah.
has
Mhm.
Fire
her.
up, little Buffy
And
the
Elijah
Vampire.
Elijah Wood too. Like that's
Yeah.
always nice. I think that's always a fun time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about one that has just an insane line. Just insane, but I think it is justified so
It's
far.
logical
Project
right
Hail
now.
Mary. Yeah, Project Hail Mary. Over under is 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Science teacher Ryland Grace wakes up alone on a spaceship light years from Earth. As his memory returns, he uncovers a mission to stop a mysterious substance killing the sun and save the Earth. An unexpected friendship may be the key. It currently sits at 95%, and it stars one of my favorite actors on the planet, Ryan Gosling. Right now,
Very underrated.
yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Um, this is one that, frankly, it's so high that the model does have a hard time getting into those big numbers. But 93 feels right. Like it feels like the line. You know what I mean? It's at 95. I don't expect it to go down much, if at all.
It's also already at 130 reviews, so
Yeah, it's
it's
probably
it's
not
got a
moving
good
much.
base.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. It's a no bet reasonably, but if I had to go one way or the other, I'd take the over. But you're looking more likely at a push.
Mm. Yeah, I leaned no bet on this, so I
Mhm.
just took an alt line of 90. It's trading at 96 cents. If it closes, I make 4 cents a share. It's
Sure.
essentially a no bet where I can make pennies, but I'll take pennies for no effort, really. Like
Yeah.
90, it would have to drastically drop off at this point to hit 90. So I think it's very, very fair.
This is
I,
also a movie that has a strong fan base behind it as well because the book is so well received.
Yeah.
Same guy who wrote The
mm,
Martian wrote this
mm.
book. So this is coming in like red hot. And Gosling, I don't know if he can even miss at this point.
Yeah, for me, like honestly, I would lean the under on and maybe that's me being a hater. I just don't think the cast supporting him is strong enough. And I know this is one of those, more solo space journey type of movies. But like, isn't this freaking Interstellar? Like, isn't this like very like
No, it's very different.
I
Very
think
different.
the IP score is a little generous in the model, to be honest with you, Steve, because it feels a lot like Interstellar. It feels very similar to that. That hey, like he's not the one who's supposed to be here, but he's the only one who can do it, type of situation. And like besides like Ken Leung, former Lost guy, like who are we excited to watch in this movie besides from Ryan Gosling and the potential alien sightings? Like I couldn't like Sandra Huller. I'm good.
I think Gosling's the draw though. Like
Yeah.
a movie where like this is I'm gonna say it now. Like there's a side bet that you should take with this that Gosling either you can take the safer route and say he gets nominated for an Oscar for this, or you can get real frisky and I wouldn't mind laying down half a unit, maybe a full unit on him winning an Oscar for this role.
No way. You were smoking crack on that.
I'm telling you, it's the kind of movie that the Academy's going to love. It probably will get a Best Picture nom. He's going to get a Best Actor nomination. He's carrying an entire movie on his back.
How did Interstellar do at the Oscars a time or two ago?
Did very well, I believe.
Okay. Well,
we got our research guy on it, but I know The Martian did well.
If there was not a Best Actor nom, at least for that movie, like I think Ryan Gosling is facing.
I think McConaughey got a
if he didn't win it, because I mean that was one of the best performances we've ever seen.
At the Oscars, Interstellar won for Best Visual Effects and then was nominated for Original Score, Sound Mixing, Sound Editing, and Production Design.
So no Best Actor. Yes. Were you gonna say Ryan Gosling's better than McConaughey?
Yes.
Gosling is better than McConaughey.
Okay, that is just a flat out lie.
McConaughey plays McConaughey in every movie. Which
Ryan Gosling plays Ryan Gosling in half his movies.
You are on crack. Go watch Drive and then go watch Crazy Stupid Love. They came out in the same year. Go tell me that that's the same acting. It's unbelievable. Ryan Gosling is the best actor of that generation.
Okay, that was how long.
Okay, that
let's like post Law. I'm talking post La La Land though. Like you look at The Fall Guy, you look at some of these other movies we've seen since then. It's still kind of like the same funny, witty character that you get in Fall Guy. It wasn't that much range, I didn't think, from Fall Guy to Ken. If we're being like, I'm not trying to
his role in Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Yeah, you're a hater. You a hater.
Maybe I am. But yeah, it's a no for me on that one. Again, I would lean towards the under. But you guys are the more experienced movie bettors here, so I'll just no bet that one. But I understand the play.
I mean, look, currently at 95%. I mean, he's solo carrying a movie that's sitting at 95% Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like he's going to get an Oscar nom for it. I've seen the trailer. I've watched it.
We have to remember, too, with the critic scores, they're thinking so heavily into the cinematography, into the visual effects, into set design. Like that all gets factored in much more on the critic side than it does on the fan side. Fan side, the fans are probably going to, this is probably going to come in at like a 65, 70% on Rotten Tomatoes from the popcorn meter, because it is just a solo actor carrying it. That's going to weigh down a lot of these natural review scores.
I wish I could bet that, because I'd bet a high number on that. I bet this will come in at 85%, even on that. But this, I'm going to go so far as to say this is going to be the movie that kind of dominates the Oscars. I think it's going to have kind of everything. Maybe not supporting actor, but visual effects, sound design, best actor, best picture, best adapted screenplay, like that kind of stuff. I think it'll rack up 6, 7, maybe 8 nominations. Wow. Okay. Like I think it's gonna be a big one. I think it's a big one. All right, Forbidden Fruits, one that I don't think is gonna win Oscars, but I think it'll be fun nonetheless. Over under for this is 70%. Here's the synopsis for you guys. At a mall store, Apple leads a secret witch cult with co-workers Cherry and Fig. New hire Pumpkin questions their sisterhood, forcing them to confront inner darkness and meet violent ends. This stars the Samurai Turned Pretty's Lola Tung, as well as Lily Reinhart. The model currently has this at 54, a hard under. I agree.
I'm alone here. I'm taking the over, baby.
I see. Okay, you're not alone, because I actually think this is like one. I think the IP score on this in the projections way too low. I think it's a really, really unique idea. You can miss me on the character names. Like I don't know why everyone has to be a fruit.
I want to clarify the IP score on the model. Is that it's when you're based on something that has a strong background, that means your IP score is going to be stronger. If you're coming in with like kind of a original thing without any sort of reference to anything else, you're going to get yourself in trouble in the IP score. Thankfully, it's not hugely weighted, but it is weighted nonetheless, because people like to have that little like, oh, it's a Romeo and Juliet story, or it's, based on a book or something like that. This is based on nothing. And from what I can tell in the trailer, it looks a little messy. It looks fun, but it looks messy. It looks like something critics could hate and audiences could love.
I will say I did flex this line as well. So I've got this above 60% personally. I've got 4 units on it. But that's actually changes the payout. Like above 70, the flat line on it is
2 to 1 pretty much.
Yeah, basically 2 to 1. So this is just under 2 to 1. Like it's essentially just the other side of 2-1. So it just felt like a safer play. 60 feels like a really fair line for it. This kind of, horror comedy vibe has been more popular as of late and has performed better as a whole than it did, 10, 15 years ago on the critics side of things, just because a lot of the critics now appreciate kind of the satire that you get with a lot of these movies. So a flex line on here just felt really good and helped, kind of cushion it a little bit to where 70 does feel like a little bit of a harder line. 60 feels like it's still challenging enough to pay out well, but not like I'm burning money.
I agree with you on the horror comedy thing. I want you to keep that hold that thought as well for the next one, because we're gonna get to it. But like this one, I get that it is a horror comedy, but watching the trailer, it looked like it took itself too seriously, and that's often the pitfalls with these kinds of movies, where it's like, oh, we take ourselves really. This is a real movie. Like we're making a movie. You gotta kind of lean into the fact that you're making something stupid, or you're gonna risk alienating a lot of people, and it's gonna come out kind of shitty.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're not wrong.
What do you guys think about the pull of Emma Chamberlain here? Like, kind of making almost not her full debut, but kind of one of her big debuts. I know she's been in one or two small projects, but I'm kind of excited to see what she can do. I know she's kind of been a big buzz, and I think she's really a draw to this, if rather than anything.
I think it'll help
enough
fan score.
Yeah,
I don't know, critic wise.
I don't think critics gonna care that much about her.
Okay. Like realistically, Lily Reinhart is the draw of this movie.
Yeah,
I agree. Fair. Lola Tung is gonna be cool as well. I'm the main thing this movie has going for it, and I don't mean to knock any actors, but thank God McKenna Grace isn't appearing in it, because she's like fucking everywhere right now. And you know who she reminds me of a little bit, Jake, is like Joey King. Remember when Joey King was in everything for like 3 years, and then the world got really sick of Joey King, and it was just like goodbye. Yep. I feel like that's McKenna Grace's like path in life. It's going to be rough. I just don't know if she's ever going to be able to like lead a movie.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. All right. Another horror comedy. They Will Kill You. The line is currently 65%. Synopsis: a woman takes a job as a housekeeper in a New York City high-rise. Unaware of the building's history of disappearances, she soon realizes the community is shrouded in mystery. This stars Zazie Beetz, Tom Felton, Patricia Arquette, Heather Graham, amongst others, because it is an ensemble cast. Like I said, the line is 65%. The model has it at 85, almost 86%, 85.8. This is a smash over for me. I think this is, I've watched that trailer multiple times. I've seen it in theaters multiple times. It looks fun. It looks funny. It looks ridiculous. It looks stylish. It's very stylistically shot. It almost feels, in a weird way, John Wick like. It has that feel.
You know the vibe I got off of it?
What?
Horror Knives Out.
Yes. I was going to say the same. It definitely reminds me of like Glass Onion, Knives Out type of situation.
It's violent. It's a violent movie.
Yes.
I think
the way it's shot and almost like packaged as well, very and like to me,
the ensemble cast, like it's definitely like a action horror ripoff of the Knives Out series, and I don't mean that in a bad way by any means.
I do. I mean, I think it looks dumb as fuck. If I'm going to be honest with you, I think this looks like this looks dumb, but maybe dumb in the right way. Jake, is that kind of what you're thinking? Because
this is the movie that Steve was talking about when he was when he was just referencing like you have to be kind of silly if you're going to go the horror comedy route, and this movie is not taking itself seriously. And again, I think critics will appreciate that. I flexed this line to 60. It was about a 15% swing in payout. And again, it just felt safer. Still a good, good money-making potential there. Flexing it to 60 from 65. And I would not be shocked to see this break 80 like the model has it predicting.
Yeah, wow. I could flex this up to 70 and feel pretty comfortable. Wow. Maybe even 75. Like I'd flex this to 75 pretty comfortably.
Yeah, and that'd be paying out. That's 21 cents a share right now. So a lot of payout potential on that if it hits.
All right, let's take a quick break here and help the people make money in a different way with Wanna Parlay. Wanna Parlay creates fun and exciting competitions that connect people. It embodies the joy of winning, the heartbreak of almost winning, and all the other emotions that you'll experience during competition. Comes from the brains of two former Kansas State college football players. It's all about stacking legs, competing with real sports lovers like myself, like Seth, like Jake, and getting real cash wins every day. You can win up to 1,000 times your money and cash out fast if you are ready to get in the game and flex those parlay legs. Download the app for iOS and Android and get a 100% match bonus when you use the code IBT at signup. Again, that's the code IBT to get a 100% match bonus at Wanna Parlay. The link is in the episode description. Jakey, how was my read?
That was probably your best one yet.
Thank you.
You're getting there.
I live to please the people.
It was lacking a little oomph. I gotta be honest. Still,
I was gonna say we got to get you on the radio voice. Like, go watch an episode of the 19th Hole. Watch me rip that same ad read, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, I got to step it up a little bit."
Yeah, agreed. Check out last night's back.
I want to be clear. I think that's part of the it's nice, it's clear, it's clean.
Yeah, but watch this. Wanna Parlay creates fun and exciting competition that connects people.
There you go. See that's the money shot right there, my friend.
You got to turn on the radio voice a little bit. It's old time radio.
Oh, I wish I could. All right, let's talk Super Mario Galaxy movie. Jake, you excited for this one?
No.
Oh, damn. All right, over under is 65% on Rotten Tomatoes. Mario ventures into space, exploring cosmic worlds and tackling galactic challenges far from the familiar Mushroom Kingdom. This stars Chris Pratt, as well as much more enjoyably Jack Black and Anya Taylor-Joy. The Model has this coming in surprisingly at a 78.
Wow.
Kind of walloping it and kind of beating out the first one quite a bit.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't want to say anything definitively, but I feel like sequels doing better than the original is not a super common occurrence.
It's not, especially in the animated space.
Yeah, but in this case, it feels like while it's a more broad movie, it feels like it's a more focused of like what they know what they're doing now movie. And I think the critics kind of had to eat crow on the last one a bit. And they're not going to want to get caught with their pants down again. Because the last one, like, was kind of rotten, I think. They said, like, I think it was at, like, a 58 or something.
59.
59. And it made, like, $1.5 billion.
Yeah.
And that just looks bad on you as a critic if you're like, this is a bad movie. And then it goes out and just blows the doors off.
See, where I disagree with you there is, like, I don't think critics care that much about being wrong on animated. Because animated, it's playing to a very specific audience that these critics aren't evaluating it for. The critics are evaluating movies on their quality as a movie, not as a kid's movie or as an action movie. If it was graded, in comparison to other movies of the genre, sure, I think this would smash this line. I'm on the under for this one. I don't think it's going to perform better I think it'll probably perform better in the box office. It'll perform well with fans. I don't think critics are going to enjoy this movie. And I think it's going to be for a lot of the same reasons the first one didn't do well.
I just don't know what their issue was with the first one. I've read all the reviews, and it's kind of just like, oh, it was playing to the fans.
The plot
it
is
was
thin.
Like, oh, it's Mario.
Yeah, but even the biggest Mario fans can tell you that the plot of the games is stupid.
Yeah,
you're saving somebody who in future games has proven their ability to save themselves.
I think that actually might be what saves this movie from being rotten and kind of hitting this line is that the plot feels bigger, that they're exploring the galaxy to do something grand. It's an adventure. Seth, where are you going?
So a little caveat at the top here that like I'm a big fan of these movies. The first one actually got me back into the theater the first time post COVID. So I'm a big fan of it. I thought the animation was really, really well done on that last one.
Yeah,
but like I just worry that this just feels like a big gap to go from that 59% score we saw in the original one. And I also worry that like introducing some of these more annoying characters, the baby Bowsers, the Yoshi who Donald Glover is going to be playing, could actually drive it down a little bit. So I'm like, I wanted to come in here and like say, hey, I got multiple units on the over. I'm a little gun shy now, so it's going to be a no bet for me. But like my heart wants to say go with the over, but kind of my head and the statistical facts that I'm looking at on screen maybe drive me to be closer on that under. So I'm just going to sit on the sideline for this one, but I think you both make great cases for it. I think visually it's going to be really, really fun and a great ride. I just don't know if critics can kind of, get over themselves a little bit on this one.
I will say my bias may be coming in here too, because Super Mario Galaxy is one of the worst Mario games, and I will die on that hill.
I don't even know if I ever played Galaxy. Maybe like here and there in a GameStop or something. I've ripped it around.
It was a Wii game. It came out on the
them.
Wii, so it
it
was pretty mid until it came out for the Switch. But it was pretty mid up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to the movie that has to date the highest actor score on the model.
Interesting.
So far, it's it's the drama. Its line is currently 75%. A happily engaged couple is put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails. It basically stars Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, and then there's just a bunch of people like kind of there. This movie's actor's score is 91.2. That's insane. That's insane. They are killing it. Like, Zendaya does not miss.
Nope.
And at this point in her career, she is like, I don't do bad projects. I will not do bad projects. Even director score is an 82. It's a newer director, but like Pattinson and Zendaya together, who are both very good at picking their projects and very aware of the projects that they pick. They don't tend to go for like, oh, I'm only going to do projects that make $1 gazillion. They're like, I want to do art. This leads me to go high on the over. The model agrees with me. It has it coming in at 84, where the line is 75. I am smashing the over on the drama. I will trust Zendaya. And if you don't trust Zendaya, trust Robert Pattinson. But you get them both.
Yeah, I think this will be a full unit play for me on that over as well. Like, you look at just what she's been doing lately, and again, it's kind of been like a different catalog of movies she's ripped out really in the 2020s here. Like, you go back to The Challengers. I think everyone liked that movie, no matter who you were. 88% score. Dune 2. Again, actually a sequel did better than the original there, 92%. And then Spider-Man No Way Home, again, that was just a banger. You had a lot of cameos in that one that helped that. It's a Marvel movie, 93%. And I really think like this score is going to come down to two. I'm not worried about Zendaya. Like, Zendaya, like, box checked, right? Absolutely box checked on this. Even just from like seeing the previews and how like just in this role, I think she is perfect for. But I think it's going to come down to two things. Like, what is that confession we get in the plot? That they're like at a dinner and everyone goes around the room and they just say the worst thing they've ever done. And it allegedly is Zendaya's is like terrible and like, causes the friction and is a big part of this plot. So what is that? That is going to be a big thing. I think this score decides on. And also like Robert Pattinson, he's kind of been he's been around, man. He's been around and he's had some real stinkers, I think, here ever since he kind of got out of that Twilight run. So for me, I think it's what is that plot intrigue that is going to be that this hinges on, and what does RP do here as well, Jake? Because he's someone I can't really gauge him. He's just had a lot of stinkers, I feel like, as far as the last 10 or so years for him.
I'm on the over here. It is a flex line for me. I'm a huge Robert Pattinson guy. I think he's extremely underrated as an actor. I would put him in the category that Steve was talking about of like Ryan Gosling and him like aren't too different in terms of prestige for me. What I think is very underrated about this movie as well, it's an Ari Aster production. I don't think a lot of people expect that. Really, besides Beau is Afraid is like his worst rated movie, and that's still hovering around 70%. And I think it's again an extremely
should have been higher.
Agreed. It's extremely underrated. And you look at, it's him and Lars Knudsen, a frequent collaborator of his on, especially on Hereditary. Knudsen was also on The Witch, American Honey. He's been on a lot of really solid films. So the production behind the film is very strong. It's an A24 release as well, getting a boost from that for me additionally. And then you look at the cast and it's like, I really can't see this going wrong. The flex play again is just me on Kalshi. I tend to play it a little bit safer, just because there's still a lot of money making potential with these flex lines. But flexing it down to 70% from the 75, it wasn't even a 10% hit on payout. So I'm doing that every time. Still getting great opportunity. I have this. I'm 4 units on this one as well. So I'm going pretty heavy on a few of these movies, and this is one of them where I may, if we see the line switch a little bit more, you may see a few more units come out of it on me.
Steve, would you have any interest in going up to an 80% score? Right now, if you do that, you're looking at over a 2-to-1 return.
I'd be interested. Yeah, because this also feels like Zendaya going for her Oscar.
Yeah.
This feels like an Oscar turn for her as well. So I could get behind that. I think this movie could realistically hit 90, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay.
So that's gonna wrap it up. Unfortunately for us, we've reached the sad part in our show where it's time for us to say goodbye to all the viewers. For all of you who have tuned in for this, thank you so much. We love having you. We got some stuff on the docket here, guys. We got some big things going on. We're gonna be talking Avengers Doomsday very soon here. Some lines on Kalshi for that. On top of that, Jake, you and I are welcoming 2 new guests to Popcorn and Root Beer to go over some movies. We are doing Weapons with our boy Wyatt, and then we're welcoming resident alien star Sarah Tomko to come on and watch one of Seth's favorite movies, Tombstone.
Let's go.
I can't believe Seth didn't get himself added to the lineup for that movie.
I know.
I thought you were gonna get bumped, Jake. I thought you were gonna get bumped.
Hey, if he wants Tombstone, he can have Tombstone.
Are you not a Tombstone fan?
I'll save it for the episode.
Jake,
maybe I'm just, who knows? Maybe I'm playing the audience. I'm marketing. Maybe I love it. Maybe I hate it. Maybe it's mid. Maybe it's not.
I can't wait to team up with
You're
Sarah
gonna have
Tomko,
to tune in to find out.
My dear Asta, and just bully you for 90 minutes on that episode.
Maybe you're not. Maybe I love it.
But all right, that's going to do it for us here at Popcorn and Root Beer. Again, please remember to subscribe to the IBT Entertainment family. It is so much great stuff going on, as well as if you do upgrade to that $3.99 a month or $36 for the whole year, you get the IBT football family, racing family, golf family, and entry into a whole bunch of other contests and memorabilia giveaways, as well as access to this betting model that we've referenced so much here on Popcorn and Root Beer. For myself, for Jake Parry, for Seth Woolcock, that's a wrap.